ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go. We are switching over to the live stream. Free practice is done as we wait for the counter to go down for us to start up this race sprightly. What is happening? It is a pleasure to see you in the chat. I hope all is well. We have Farmer on the provisional pole with our Doing sitting P2. Folty, the driver who had a little bit of issues yesterday during the Imola race, he is sitting there P3 as we are getting ready for everything to get going here into qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. And it is going, as Wolf is saying, hello everybody from the other side of the ocean. Hello, good sir. How are you? How is the weather out by you? I hope all is well and everything is going great. We're definitely going to be getting going here shortly as we're waiting for the talkie. We got I apologize. As we get going, we're waiting for the timer to click down, seeing who the rest of the drivers as they come around. As we see Andre Lloyd as he crosses the line. That's going to now reset everybody. Thank you for the follow. Nat to 29. Now let's do this. All right, let's go. Person wants to, we're going to definitely jump back into the garage, wait for the little timer for the drive to click over, and we're going to get going here at Catalunya, ladies and gentlemen, for GT Meister Racing. Let's take a look. We have Lane Sander. He is back. Our Season 1 champion has returned after doing the football season. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Fazy Oda, can't see the numbers. I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry. Oda 2617 as we get going here. We're going to follow along with Lane Sander, Pete, the BMW driver. Usually he drives the Mercedes AMG. He is definitely looking super racy so far during the practice session as he works his way through. He's going to have that Merc in front of him as he's going to get around the bend here. As you see, for those that are new at GT Meister, hello again. Tykes, man, the British man that chooses to pick the Chicago Bears, definitely showing his love for the Green Bay Packers. Thank you very much, sir. Airwolf says, it's raining here. I don't have an umbrella, so I'm aft. I understand, but don't worry. I'm sure it'll get warmer as we work our way through here as we see Lane Sander. For those that are new, we have a 20-minute qualifying session followed by it's open in qualifying. That means it doesn't matter how many people. There is not a separation. You can call me Phase Yoda. Phase Yoda, welcome. So as you can see, the drivers are working their way around the grid, trying to get a little bit of separation as they work their way through here. As we see Jake Johnson, he's not in. He is still sitting in the pads. Andy Ollie, welcome Andy Allor, a.k.a. El Taco Man. If you haven't seen him on Twitch, definitely check him out. Wonderful friend of mine. Huge mad respect to him. He is here. He's sitting there P17 right now. Provisionally, he's yet to set a time, so we'll definitely take a look. Andre Lloyd, he is just coming out of the pit. Same with Alan Zhu. They're coming down the pits. Now here comes Lane Sander coming down into turn one. What can the driver of the number 10 BMW do? Running out all super wide on that Kirby as he makes his way through, coming around the bend up the hill on this super fast left-hander. We are at optimum track conditions. Ooh, looks like there's a little bit of an issue between Trash Panda and it seems to be some of the other drivers trying to make way through in qualifying sessions, so they're going to definitely be working. Looks like Aiden Hasbrock with that Bentley as we see Lane Sander working his way down the hill now. Go. I'm actually a follower of Phase Yoda. That is wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I hope your night's going well. We are definitely going to be having a blast here as we see Lane Sander working his way on the downhill. The only other car on a flyer is number 12. 414 of Matt Artem is not on a lap, so we're definitely going to look for that number 12 car. Let's take a look. Where is that number 12 car? That's Louis Benora in that Mercedes AMG. And this is interesting. Both drivers, Louis used to run the BMW, Lane Sander used to run the Mercedes. So now we'll definitely get to see how these two drivers battle it out throughout this race. Let's take a look. Right now, I'm only seeing 4 on the listing. We have 31 drivers, ladies and gentlemen, here at Barcelona, and it is going to be a spettacolo, as the Italians love to say. As we work our way through here, here comes Louis. He's looking super strong on his pace here. Now, question is, can he rile this Mercedes AMG when he is about to cross the line? Here we go. He sets provisional pole at a 146, which gets blasted by Lane Xander with a 144.6. Casey Bennett dropping in .008 away in the Porsche, and the times are reeling in, and I'm trying to keep up. Carter Bennett in the Red Bull car of the 720 BMW. He does not set a time yet, so he's on a flyer. He invalidated on his lap. Andrew Jaschke working his way up the hill here, up to this fast right-hander corner in the BMW. He's known for racing the BMW, utilizing all that curve as he comes out super wide. Kaufman in the 69 GTR. He's 5.8 off the pace. Chrysler York and the McLaren sitting there P9 with 4.16 off the pace as they work their way through. It looks like Kaufman had a little bit of issue trying to get number 60s off the track, but here comes Andrew Jaschke. We're going to ride along board with him as he works his way through the grid as we start to watch the numbers of the times fall in. Oh man, Alan Zhu 3.6, McNeil 3.5 off the pace. Here comes Jaschke as he's coming around the final corner. What can he do? Onto the back straight, super wide, utilizing a lot of that curve there. Crosses jumping up to P6, 1.2 seconds off the pace. Are doing with a 143.5. Wilson Fernandez, 4/10 off Fulte, 7/10 off the pace. The time is dropping. Here we go. Christopher Schuffler, the Porsche driver, in there. He is following behind Carter Bennett, so he's going to have to try to work his way around here and get everything going in here as we go. And we have someone in the chat that we don't need to talk to. And we're going to keep going. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to keep with Schuffler. We're going to have Carter Bennett right in front of him. What can Carter do? What can Schuffler do? Schuffler looks super racy this past Wednesday during the pub events, as, looks like Schuffler is going to opt out of it, but Carter's going to jump up to P11, and it's going to put him .002 away from Louis Bonara. So Schuffler's going to dive back into the pits. Here comes Nick Kaufman in that Nissan GTR as he works his way through the last corner. Beautiful black and neon green looks. What can he do? He's 5.8. Now he's 4.4. Only 3/10 off the pace of Chrysler York as this track is starting to develop. Tyler Farmer, he was our championship winner last season in the NSX. Here he is in the Porsche this season. What can he do? Super wide, runs it, sticks it out a little bit longer, and across the line, he's up to P2, 6/10 off. Alex are doing resets provisional pole time with a 143.250. Here they go. Ember 11, I'm in. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ember is in as we see Wilson Fernandez slots himself P3 with Oliveira P4. Both of the drivers, both Brazilian drivers, friends of each other that race in this league. Aiden Hasbrock, Season 3 and last week's race winner at Imola in the Bentley. He is 3/10 up on his time as he makes the bend around this corner as he works his way towards the downhill section of Barcelona. He's going to have Farmer right behind him. He's probably going to use Farmer to work his way. As Ember says in the chat, Farmer. That's right. Here we go. Aiden Hasbrock working his way down the hill in that green Bentley. He's definitely making a big switch up. Prior seasons, it was all about the McLaren. This season, he wanted to do something different, and now he's even racing faster with the McLaren, with the Bentley, I apologize, as he works his way up the hill. As they work through B-Cats, P22, 7.1 off the pace of provisional pole, but he can still definitely work his way through. As Jake Johnson, the P21 driver, he's 4.757 off the pace of the provisional pole leader. So he's only about 0.02 off the pace of P20, but so we can definitely see a bunch of improvements there, especially with track conditions. As the 188 Alan Zhu, Porsche is probably going to be off the track trying to wait for people. Yep, here he is. He's waiting for traffic to get through to make his way through as they get going. Here comes Hasbrock. Can he set the time that he needs to onto the main straight and across the line? What does he do? Ooh, he invalidates. Ooh, with the 144 flat. That provisional 144 flat would have put him right actually it would have put him P6. Ooh, that's definitely going to be an interesting one here as we work our way down. Let's take a look at some of the other drivers who have not set a time here in this grid. Or Bruce Hopkins, he wasn't here last week. He had a family get-together thing as we see Bruce Hopkins works his way onto the final corner. He's up 1.1 seconds on his provisional time as he crosses it. 146. He's going to slot a P19, a tenth off the pace of Carter Bennett, but he still has a nice breathing room of 5/10 from Chestnut there in the sector as we go. Now we're going to jump down with Ricky Scott, the McLaren driver, in this nice flat gray McLaren as they work their way through Sector 2. It looks a little cloudy here during the pub events. It looked like there was going to be some rain during this race, but hey, anything is possible as we watch the McLaren driver work his way down into the final chicane. Here he goes, left, right, switch back in it as he goes through, as we will be switching over to Andy Ollie here in a second as Ricky Scott is about to cross the line. Let's take a look. Let's see what he can do. Crosses the line. It's going to jump him up to P16, the number 31 driver of Andy Ollie. He is on a flyer now, as fast as possible as he's working his way down into turn 1. We're going to ride along board in the cockpit cam for you. Looking like he's struggling a little bit with some understeer in that McLaren as he works his way through. The GTR of Kaufman is going to plow him through, and here comes Ollie down the downhill. He's going to have to master this braking marker as he's coming up through this uphill chicane section and try not to utilize a lot of that curbing. And for those that do not know, he loves Formula One. That's where he made a lot of his pace and performance. He's been showcasing a lot of iRacing. So we'll definitely have to see if he can actually take that F1 experience and put it in here at Barcelona as he works his way through. As we see McKenna in the background there, it looks like Aiden Hasbrock was able to set a time. Aiden Hasbrock slotted himself up to P7, ladies and gentlemen. P7 now, it puts him there. And now let's take a look at Ollie. He's coming around. He's up 1.3 seconds on his time and down through the Sector 3 part of Barcelona here. Nice and tight, trying not to hit a bunch of the curbs. If you tap that curb, you're going to shoot your car out. Here comes the McLaren out onto the main straight through the final corner with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to play. This whole battle is just growing up here. It's going to... Ooh, he actually invalidated his lap, but he did a time of a 1:45.7. So 1:45.7 would slot him into around P19, P18. Would put him in the top 20, but this is definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least. Let's take a look at it as Oliveira is sitting there at P5 as he works his way through the grid here. He's going to have Casey Bennett right in front of him, the number 10 car, the 918 here, working his way through on the back half. We're seeing a few yellow sectors. The drivers trying to make their way through the grid as they're trying to get times in for those here. So he's going to be backing off, and that's okay. Now we're going to look at Matt Artem. Matt Artem still in Sector 1. He's not moving. Casey Bennett, though, is flying 3/10. He's going to get a big, massive toe off of Andrew Cooper. Can it help him and turn him? It's going to slot him up to P7, ladies and gentlemen. 1.1 off the pace. Oh, man, look at that battle between P2 and P3. 0.030 off the pace of those two drivers. It's just battling. As we take a look here, as we jump back down along board with Christopher Shuffler. Shuffler working his way through on the downhill. He's going to have Andrew Jaschke right in front of him as the lights are on his car definitely beaming. It's just super cloudy here today. Honestly, I'm not going to knock on wood, but I'm kind of hoping for a little bit of rain in this race. As we see Shuffler, it looks like he lost a little bit from that back end stepping out there. And he lost a lot of pace. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on it if he... Ooh, as Andre Lloyd is just like, yeah, that's my corner. As he works his way through here. Let's take a look. Who else is on a flyer here, ladies and gentlemen, as we can follow? And it seems like Brian Kratz, the Audi driver of the red and white, working his way through. He had a little bit of an incident early in the start of the race at the Imola race with McKenna. the BMW M6 driver, one of our few drivers that have joined in the series with an M6. So definitely a huge shout out to him as these two drivers are all working at it. Deleted Fox, welcome to the chat, Deleted Fox. It's definitely an honor to have you here. As Afonso sitting there, P12, he's going to jump into the pits and he's going to hold off. I think he's pretty much done as we see Brian Kratz. Brian Katz, I apologize. He's working through the 210s, but right now the driver in front of him, Jake Johnson, he is up a second coming through the sector 3, but we're also going to have Brian Katz right behind him. And then let's see, take Jake Johnson. He's up 6/10 right now, so if he can keep this going, he can jump at least 2 spots. And he's coming out top at this back corner. See what he can do. It's showing 1.1, 1.2-ish around there. That should leapfrog him pretty high up in the order. It does. P25. Wow, jumped him about 4 or 5 spots. Brian Kratz does not, but your boy Andy Ollie coming through here. He is about 1.1 seconds in the sector 3. He's the biggest mover on the grid, 1.1, and he still has yet to set a time. Provisionally, he did 146.2. And that would have been P23, P24, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him as he's making his way around with 5 minutes left to go. Curious on how many drivers are really going to want to try to push this towards the end, as it's going to be a swamp race here for these drivers to make their way through. And P19, wow, what a beautiful run, 8/10 off the pace of Ricky Scott. Both McLaren drivers taking a look at each other, saying, hello, how are you doing? As we take a jump along board, let's take a quick look. Andrew Cooper, the man, the one of the owners of Sim Lounge, a PC hangout session league, as we watch him going through sector 2, working his way up to sector 3, and around the bend he goes. He's showing that he's 3/10 up, so 3/10 right now would actually put him into that top 15, get him a chance to leapfrog about two spots here in this race series as he goes through here. Definitely huge shout out to all you lovely viewers, as Andrew Cooper lost all that pace and performance by going a little bit wide there. Sad to see there. How are you guys? How are the viewers watching today? Let's jump down by Alan Zhu with the Euro Yeet Porsche. What a beautiful look. And he's going to have Mr. Chestnut right behind him in that Ferrari of the 595. Ferrari working his way through as they make their way through here with 4 minutes left. And there's Andrew Lloyd coming up right in front of them down into that turn. Can Alan Zhu make something happen here as he works his way? He's lost a little bit of time in that braking zone. But, you know, everything with this Porsche and the aero capabilities, he can find all of it. As we see, looks like McKenna can find through about 3/10 in that BMW to catch Katz here in the back of the pack here as we work our way through here. As Katz is actually up 2/10, so let's take a look and see if anybody else is moving up. Doesn't seem like we have really anybody, so we're going to jump up with Katz here shortly. As Parks is sitting in the pits, Kaufman's sitting in the pits, Buckley and Bruce Hopkins. For those that don't know, Hopkins and Buckley are arch rivals of each other. That's our drive to survive moment in this league. That's what we're going to stick to. They are 4.040 off the pace of each other, ladies and gentlemen. This is just really battling it out as we see Alan Zhu up 3/10, Katz up 7th. Let's take a look. Where is Katz? And he looks like he just went off the track. He's returned to the pits. What a shame there. He was actually really moving. Here comes Zhu, but he's got Chestnut. Chestnut's actually not on a flyer right now, but Zhu is. Louis Bernard, the first driver we were taking a look at the start of qualifying, he is actually flying, and Alan Zhu slots himself up P27. Not really a whole lot as we see Louis Bernard. He's working his way up through, and we see Lacroix or Laroc in front of him as they work their way through. Lane Sanders up a 10th here. Let's take a look. Let's see who we have. We have Alex Ardoin in the custom GTMR liveried paint scheme. He has managed to separate himself with Aiden Hasbrock, bringing himself 5/10 to that Porsche. It is definitely a Porsche field here this year at GTMR, and it's definitely looking super strong with these drivers as they work their way through here. As he works his way downhill, Andrew Lloyd right behind there. We get Aiden Hasbrock, the P2 provisional driver. He's sitting back there. Let's take a look. Who else do we have that's moving? Lane Xander, he's up 2/10 in that BMW. He's going to have Wilson Fernandez right behind him. Lane Xander crosses the line. Wow, .0. 0.17 off the pace. And he's going to have Medina right behind him, 0.003, ladies and gentlemen. This battle's just developing and growing. What a substantial performance here as we have Andrew Jaschke in that BMW coming into Sector 3, coming in hot, 3/10 up on his time. Can he make it stick, catching a lot of that curbing? I think that's going to ruin him. Ooh, those 3/10 would have jumped him. It would have leapfrogged him into that top 5 position, but he lost it all out there in the curbings. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on him as Andrew Lloyd here in the Porsche around the final corner. He's up 3/10. Can it put him into that top 15? Oh, yes, it does. P14, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting right behind Carter Bennett in the front of LaRock here as we go through Chrysler York, one of the greatest gentleman drivers I've ever met in my whole entire career of doing sim racing. He's working his way through Sector 3, the 823 McLaren. Definitely looking super racy as he comes around this bend here. We have 40 seconds left to play, and it seems like a lot of the drivers in the back of the grid are checking out, not trying to put. Oh, Chrysler York loses it and smashes the front end. But hey, Chrysler Shuffler. Oh, he lost the front end of it. I don't. Maybe it's a commentator curse, probably. LaRock coming around here onto the back straight here. He is up 1/10. Can he improve it? Because the 1/10 is going to help him. Ooh, just so slightly as Andre Alex Afonso, he is working his way up the hill and around this nice bend here. He's in the Lexus. Last season he was in, if I'm correct, he was in the Aston Martin as he works his way through as qualifying has ended as these drivers are working their way through here. So it's definitely going to be cloudy on a Saturday here for this event as we will be approaching almost race time here on a Sunday, which starts at 12 p.m. as well. So this is definitely going to be an intriguing one as we see Matt Artin. He's going to not get a full valid lap here as he's about to cross the corner. Lane Sander, nope, he is not improving on his time. Afonso, he is up 1/10, and then we have Casey Bennett. We're going to jump along board Casey Bennett here because Casey Bennett's looking fast. He's got Aiden Hasbrock right in front of him. Casey Bennett could use this 1/10 if he could find more pace in that red Porsche. That red Porsche will be able to leapfrog. That's 3/10 through that chicane. 3/10, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Aiden Hasbrock possibly lost it going up the curb and caught too much of it. But here we have Casey Bennett, 3/10. Looks like Wilson Fernandez is checking out of there as well. Farmer slots himself P2 ahead of Aiden Hasbrock. Ooh, by 0.050 of a lap here. But 4/10 on Casey Bennett coming through. 4/10 would slot him into that top 4-6 spot right there as he comes around the corner. Here comes through the final chicane. Can he get more? Can he put it? He's got 5/10. Here he comes around the bend here on the corner. Massive acceleration out of that Porsche onto the main straight and about to cross the line. P4! P4, ladies and gentlemen, P4. Wow. What an amazing race. Wow, what an amazing qualifying, not race, I apologize, qualifying session as we go through. Oh man, this is definitely going to be something, ladies and gentlemen. Your pole sitter, Alex, are doing in the Porsche. Taylor Farmer, P2, Aiden Hasbrock, P3, Casey Bennett, P4, Lane Zander, P5, Full T, P6, and you know what this means? We are going to do the provisional down the pit lane, and let's take a look at everybody, ladies and gentlemen, as we work our way through here and out of the. Ooh, look at that beautiful GTMR Porsche, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that beautiful GTMR Porsche. Now, here we go. As I work and try to get 31 drivers in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And Alex are doing your pole sitter P1. Taylor Farmer switching it up, going from the NSX to the Porsche this season. As we also have Aiden Hasbrock in the Bentley, Casey Bennett in the Porsche, Lane Zander in the BMW, Full T in the other BMW. Also, we have Jonathan Oliveira, P7 in that Porsche, Wilson Fernandez in that Mercedes-Benz, P8, Matt Artem in the Audi, Medina in the Mercedes-Benz, Afonso in the Lexus, Andrew Jaschke in the BMW, Carter Bennett in the BMW, Andre Lloyd in that beautiful Pac-Man Porsche there, LaRock, or aka La Crow in that Mercedes-Benz, ladies and gentlemen. Christopher Shuffler in that Porsche as well. Then we have Andrew Cooper in the McLaren, Louis Benora in that Mercedes-Benz, followed by Ricky Scott. He's going to be, we have a triple road McLaren here with Ricky Scott, Andy, Ollie, and Chrysler Yorn all here, ladies and gentlemen. Chestnut in that beautiful Ferrari there of the Trash Panda, followed by the Aston Martin of Bruce Hopkins. And then we're going to have Liam McNeilson in the, Liam McNeil in the Stefan Buckley, I apologize, in the Audi. I start to lose it towards the end of the. Here's McNeil in the Audi, followed by Jake Johnson in that pink BMW, and Alan Zhu in the Porsche, the Euro E. And then we have James Parks bringing it in with that beautiful light blue McLaren, followed by Kaufman in the GTR, followed by Brian Katz in the Audi, and ladies and gentlemen, McKenna in the BMW. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, your whole entire roll list of it as we zoom all the way down the grid. And we are going to beautiful shot, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I have to say, we're going to just jump back along board with this and get it going here. We have 30 seconds left to go for the drivers to hit start and then the full formation to pick off. What are your predictions, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the chat. Who do you think is going to dominate this race? Now that I had a chance to get a bit of a breather, ladies and gentlemen, and we work our way through, I just want to give a huge shout out to the birthday boy himself, Mr. Josh Kimball, aka Pfeiffer of the GTMR Discord. Happy birthday, good sir, and I hope you feel better. I know you have bronchitis, and I want to wish you the best of luck and a happy weekend. We wish you would have been here, but we understand health is wealth and it's way more important. But hey, back to my grind and what I do every day, and that's commentating solo, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are at Barcelona, and the drivers are working their way out here. So we're going to run down the order again. The two Porsche drivers of Art Doing and Farmer sitting there 1-2. Farmer, last year's championship winner. He's going to definitely have to fight off the pace of Aiden Hasbrock in that Bentley that's looking super strong, as well as Casey Bennett in that P4 spot. Casey Bennett has been looking super strong all season, last season, and coming into this season. He missed Imola, but he's been looking to be able to resurgence himself here in this race. Everybody, it looks a little cloudy. The lights are out. There may be rain, ladies and gentlemen. There may be rain, so this is definitely going to throw a curveball here as Lane Sander, his maiden return here in that BMW. He's definitely going to have to showcase a little bit of performance. He's been looking super strong so far during practice and qualifying, so sitting there in P5 is definitely going to be an interesting one. As Fulte, the driver who managed to get a drive-through, a 30-second stop go, and another 30-second stop go here in this race. Last week's race, he is definitely looking super strong as well as he's approaching into this as well. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on him through this as we go through down here. As Jonathan Oliveira is looking super strong in P7 in that Porsche, that beautiful purple Porsche. It seems like the Brazilian drivers of Oliveira, Medina, and Wilson Fernandez, the triple threat here, all rocking the same purple paint scheme here. 7 through 9, they are going to definitely try to work their way through the grid the best that they possibly can. As we see Matt Artem rounding out the top 10 here in that Audi. As we go through, let's take a look at a few honorable mentions. Like again before, a huge shout out to Stefan Buckley all the way back there. Very clean driver. He's going to have to work his way through the grid. The drivers are coming through here side by side. They are lining up. They're going to be coming up to the final chicane here in a second to work their way through this track. Oh, I am just ecstatic as we are up into Helicam, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the race on. Here they go. Final corner, and away we will be getting going. green, 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 and we are off. As we saw, looked like Lane Xander was going to take a look. Actually, that was Fulte. He was going to take a look. Fulte's going to try to make it 3 wide. He's going to try to send it down the middle. Lane Xander double checks. Arduin now checking up on the inside. Here comes Aiden Hasbrock around the outside. Here they come through turn 1. Oh, look at them side by side as they work their way up the hill, and looks like super clean. Well, Fulte's going to try the inside of Lane Xander as they start to switch back. Here comes Arduin covering. Farmer's going to try to take a look on the inside of Arduin as the 2 Porsche drivers. Here comes Farmer around the outside. Aiden Hasbrock is going to try to capitalize. Farmer wants to get that beautiful line and around Fulte. Xander, he's getting attacked by Jonathan Ovilia as the front 5. Here comes Arduin, covers the inside. Fulte tries to take a look. Aiden Hasbrock, ooh, side by side. There's a bit of a bump there down as the drivers are working their way through the grid here as Fulte is trying to make something and make moves. Oh, Aiden Hasbrock having to cover the brakes as they work their way through the 918. Looks like Casey Bennett. Ooh, something happened with Casey Bennett going through that hairpin as they work their way through the grid order as well. Oh, what a shame there for Casey Bennett, but the race is still young as Farmer super late on the brakes, almost has the back end of Arduin as we're going to jump back forward. Here comes Oliviera. He's all over the back end of that Bentley of Aiden Hasbrock. Here comes Lane Xander. Matt Artim is there, definitely looking there as well. As we see Wilson Fernandez and Medina, they're chasing those 2 drivers as well. Here they go through up to the final chicane. Who's going to play it risky and who's going to play it safe as these drivers work their way through. Beautiful freight train as they work their way through the grid order. Afonso in the Lexus. He's going to be attacked by Andre Lloyd in that Porsche as they work their way down the main straight here. As they go through LaCroix, he's working his way through. He's going to have Louis Benora, Ricky Scott. He looks like to possibly be a big fall. Chrysler York. There's a little bit of separation in this back group, but the drivers are working their way through here. Looks like Casey Bennett was the only one out. James Parks dives into the pits. But it looks like Casey Bennett had a little bit of damage, but he's going to have to try to refigure everything out as we jump right back aboard. Arduin now 6/10 off the pit. He has separated himself from Farmer. Afonso with the provisional pole. Here comes Fulte. Fulte chasing down Farmer in that Porsche as they work their way through on the downhill section. As they go through here, here comes the BMW driver of Fulte. As you can see, Aiden Hasbrock working his way through with Jonathan Olivier. As they go through, that Bentley is looking very, very wide. Definitely a big separation as Alex Arduin is trying to make it stick and work as they go through here and around the bends. As they go, wow, what a beautiful freight train. I apologize, everybody. I am trying to go. A.R. Wilson's got to go. See you all next week. Yes, see you next week, good sir. I wish you nothing but the best as we see the drivers work their way through LaCroix. He's going to try to take a look at the inside of Carter Bennett. Carter Bennett covers the inside. Louis Bernard is going to try to get the beautiful run on him, but it doesn't seem like it's going to stick. As we jump back up and for the order. Actually, it looks like we saw something happen here. Ooh, as we see Christopher Shuffler trying to work his magic. He's past Ricky Scott, but now he's going to have Andy Ollie right in front of him, trying to make something stick right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I'm trying to work through the whole entire grid order as we go through here, and everything is looking super racy and super pacey as we watch the drivers go through. We're going to jump along board here. Here comes Andrew Jaschke. He's going to get a big fat toe out of that Mercedes-Benz. Is he going to try something on the inside? He's going to take a look. Is he going to get it stick? Medina goes super wide, cuts off the nose end of the BMW. That's going to set him up weirdly. There goes Andrew Jackson getting that dirty wash there. As here comes Andre Afonso. Andre Afonso definitely looking on the back end of them as they work their way through on the uphill fast right here. These drivers are freight train, and we're only 5 minutes in. I'm going to lose my voice, ladies and gentlemen. As they come through, Andrew Jaschke looking super racy. Oliveria, he is looking super fast, but Fulte is still on the back end of Farmer as they work their way through. Alex Arduin has still yet to separate himself from a big enough gap to not have anything happen, as Fulte definitely utilizing a lot more curb than that Porsche is out of Taylor Farmer. As they work their way on the uphill section, we're going to slide our way back down here again as Andy Ollie, LaCroix falling off the pace of Carter Bennett with Louis Benora as they work their way up the hill. And right behind him is Christopher Shuffler and Ricky Scott as these drivers are fully through. Oh, here comes the attack from Chrysler York from Stefan Buckley. Chrysler York is going to try to cover the inside. Is Stefan Buckley going to set it? It's not. McNeil tries the outside as they come back around the corner. Here they go. Stefan Buckley, McNeil, and we see Bruce Hopkins all in this freight train right here at the start of this race as they go through. It seems like the 69 car. Oh, Chrysler York loses the back end. He's going to have to separate himself a little bit from the drivers here. What a shame there. Stefan Buckley now with McNeil covering over Chestnut. Chestnut now looking on the back end of Bruce Hopkins. Bruce Hopkins now going to have to cover over the Ferrari. The Ferrari of the Trash Panda is working his way through onto the main straight. Here they go. Oh, but it's all fluid as the drivers work their way through. We have the 69 and 18 car, Makina, and it seems like Kaufman is losing a little bit. Andrew Cooper's falling off the pace, but it looks like Casey Bennett's going to try to re-rally everything as they go through. We're going to just jump right back aboard, and it looks like Fulte got past Farmer, and here we go. Can Farmer take the battle back to Fulte as they work their way back on the downhill? I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for falling that here as we work our way through here. As we see Lane Xander still in the back there taking a look at everything as we see everything and how Fulte is going to play out here in this race as we see Farmer looking super strong. Oliveira, his first race in the season with us at GT Meister Racing, working his way through the grid and up the hill as everybody's just freight trading. It doesn't seem like a whole lot of people. Thank you for the follow. Exilo 5K. I don't know how to really say it. I apologize. As we see Oliveira working his way through as Alex Ardua now 1.7 seconds off the pace of Fulte. He has put himself into a happy space, a happy gap, as they like to call it, in GT3 Championship Racing as these drivers work their way through here. As we take a look, Lane Xander, he is looking super good as Wilson Fernandez now on the back end of Matt Artem. Headlights on the two Mercedes drivers of Wilson Fernandez and Medina with Andrew Jaschke all over the back. And we see Afonso in the background there. He's taking a look. He's wanting to see if something is going to stick. As Wilson Fernandez, he's going to try something on the inside. That's they just clip off the camera angle. As these drivers are trying. They are super trying here at Barcelona to make something stick. And it is not happening here. As these drivers, oh, we're going to jump back down. Big deal. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Supply Raptor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we see McNeil with Bruce Hopkins, now Chestnut. McNeil's back end's breaking out on that Audi with Bruce Hopkins all over the back end of him as he's chasing him down. As we're going to jump along board also with Andy Ollie here. Andy Ollie now on with Ricky Scott and Christopher Shuffler with the attack against Andy Ollie. Here they work their way through down into the braking zones. Here comes Christopher Shuffler. Ricky Scott. Will they make a move here coming into this fast? Oh, Andy Ollie covering beautifully with Ricky Scott now checking up behind them as well as they work their way through the grid. Now you see that battle between McNeil and Bruce Hopkins all developing in towards the back end of them as they come through here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly an honor to have all you viewers watching, definitely participating and seeing this race. It's truly an honor to have you guys. Here's Ricky Scott tries the inside. Ollie leaves the space as they come through. Now Shuffler he's going to get the low end grunt torque out of that Porsche. Ricky Scott's going to left the space for Andy Ollie and have to catch that curve. Really weird. As they work their way through, Ricky Scott definitely has been showing a lot of pace and performance, participating in low fuel motorsports with that McLaren, as he is definitely trying to cover up that line, but that's now going to allow Stefan Buckley, the P19 driver, to catch up to these drivers as they work their way through. And we are going to have a battle up here as we see, Jonathan Olivier, he's going to look on the inside of Ada Asbrock as they go through into turn 1, 2, and they work their way up. The Bentley driver is going to have to check out of it, and the Porsche driver is going to squeeze in. Oh, man, that is, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 3, and 4, all Porsches as they work their way through. Aiden Hasbrock definitely having a little bit of a struggle bus on that Bentley, and I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be jumping back down the grid and taking an eye at some of the other battles we have going on here. Let's take a look. Wilson Fernandez, he finally got past Matt Artem, as now Medina is going to have to be taking a look. The Brazilian drivers trying to work their way up the grid the best that they possibly can. Andre Lloyd, I apologize, looking back behind Andre Alex Afonso here in that Lexus car, looking to try to get past Andrew Jaschke as they work their way through. Thank you for the follow, ThemKing99. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to GTMR Racing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The pit window is open here at GTMR. We have a 40-minute pit window. This allows drivers that have had damage at the beginning of the race to pit, be able to change tires, and get back on the race without having to throw a race away because they have too early of a pit stop. Huge shout out to all the viewers that are coming to watch. If you're coming from the El Taco Mainstream, thank you very much. It's truly an honor to have you guys all participate and be a part of this. As we see Afonso down into the corner, he's going to take a look at Andrew Jaschke. You can definitely see his braking line in correlation as we see Carter Bennett here, the man, the Red Bull driver. Max Verstappen he is, but ladies and gentlemen, he is the youngest driver here as we see LaRock, or aka Lacroix, on the side of his car working his way down with Louis Benora on that battle, chasing him down, trying to make something stick, as now the grid is starting to separate themselves after about 10 minutes. The question is, who's going to dive in the pits and take the risk shot here and try to run this out super wide? Let's take a look at 595. We're going to have Chestnut. He's now going to be attacked by Casey Bennett. Casey Bennett, a top 5 driver here. A little bit of an issue at the start. Looks like he had a little, a Shuffler all the way in the back there as they work their way through. So it's definitely interesting to see how these drivers work their way through the grid. Oh, Andy Ollie. Oh, I apologize. Ollie with Stefan Buckley. Andy Ollie covers it over. Stefan Buckley, is he going to try to switch back on him? Oh, looks like McNeil got spun. Possibly the back end didn't catch the dirt as we watch these two drivers work their way down the grid here. This at these point in times, I miss my co-commentator, Mr. Pfeiffer. If you're watching, huge shout out, and give us a shout out in the chat as well. You're probably just chilling, eating ice cream, watching the battles here develop as we watch as this grows even more. Let's take a look up into the further part of the grid. Your race leader, Alex Ardoin, in the GTMR liveried Porsche, sitting there P1. And here we see Fulte with Farmer all over the back end of him. Olivier. Ooh, Aiden Hasbrock getting a beautiful run out of the final corner on the Porsche. He's going to switch it, try to get the run on the Porsche. He looks like he's going to get him on the main straight. The Bentley driver, beautiful, beautiful run out of that final chicane, utilizing what the Bentley's good at. Here comes the Porsche. He's going to go for a deep dive, try to throw him off a little bit, down into turn 1. And here comes Andrew Jaschke. And in tow with him, Lane Sander, in tow with him is going to be Wilson Fernandez, following behind Lane Sander as they work their way through here on the uphill section of Barcelona. As these drivers are definitely trying to hold each other off the best that they possibly can. What a beautiful drive by a lot of these drivers. Now we see LaCroix or LaRock. Did he get past Carter Bennett? Looks like Carter Bennett possibly lost it in a corner. There, shame there for him as they work their way through. Let's take a look. Who else do we have close battles here? We have Chestnut and Casey Bennett, followed by Christopher Shuffler. They're going to try to work their way around the Shuffler having to check out the brakes there. Looks like Panda possibly could have, I think he probably lit up his brakes a little bit going into that corner there and kind of fell behind us. That's going to allow Casey Bennett through. Now Christopher Shuffler is going to have to try to work his magic to catch up to Chestnut as they work their way through the grid. What a shame there. McKenna, first driver to dive into the pits, get the tire changes. He's going for the ultra long strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Ultra long, as we'll slide back up the board here in this battle as we let's take a look. Where's Stefan Buckley? Here goes Stefan Buckley all over Andy Ollie. Andy Ollie trying to cover up. Stefan Buckley, one of the older drivers here in the league, but one of the greatest drivers here in the league, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Super nice guy as he works his way through up to the McLaren. Beautiful line there by him. He's going to try to cover off the McLaren driver. There's Carter Bennett. Oh, Andy Ollie catching a lot of that curves. Ooh, that's going to allow Stefan Buckley to get a run down into the turn. Here they go side by side. Can the throttle of the McLaren be able to combat the power of the Audi? Andy Ollie, he's going to check up, try to switch back. He's going to try to get the draft on the back straight as they work their way through. is the McLaren driver going to try it down into turn one? Buckley goes for a super wide line into turn one. Oh, side by side. Buckley loses the back end. Ollie's going to have to check up. Now Buckley's side by side covering the inside. Ollie on the outside. Here they go through on the uphill section. Here comes Bruce Hopkins, the driver that they weren't even thinking about. And behind them is Casey Bennett. Casey Bennett is now up to P20 after spinning out from P5. He's working his way up the grid. Back up the grid, ladies and gentlemen, as these drivers are working their way through. Can Buckley hold off Andy Ollie through here? We have 45 minutes left to go, and I am definitely going to lose my voice. Wow, look at this amazing battle as we watch these drivers work their way through here. Ooh, Andy Ollie overshooting the brakes. Bruce Hopkins now in that Aston Martin V8 Vantage all over the back end of him as they work their way up the hill here. And now Casey Bennett, he's going to get that drive out with that Porsche. The question is now Casey Bennett, he's got 3 cars in front of him. Shuffler is on the back end of Trash Panda as they work their way through. I apologize, Chestnut, number 21, driver of the Ferrari, as they work their way through. Here they go through the bend. Our leader on, you see on the mini map, he is now separated himself very well from P2. But the question is with the BMW, with the Porsche being a knife's edge, how much of that is going to throw him off, and how much is it going to keep him going? Ollie utilized, he's actually learned from his mistake earlier down into that curve, and he is definitely working his way through as Bruce Hopkins going super wide there. Definitely catching a lot of the curve. We got 43 minutes left to play, 33 minutes left of the pit window. The temps have gone up by 2 degrees. The sun is out. Bruce Hopkins knows the pace of Casey Bennett, allows Casey Bennett through into turn one. So now Ollie's going to have to take the fight. He's going to have to deal with the fight of a very fast Porsche driver of Casey Bennett that's trying to recover his race as they work their way through. This the race is just developing, and we're going to jump along board. We're going to take a look real quick at P2 and 3. Fulte definitely utilizing a lot more curve than what the Porsche driver of Farmer, as Farmer is now taking the battle. He's taking a look. You can definitely see him. He kind of jumps into the non-slipstream area, kind of cools him. Yes, Skeppy, the racing that is developing and the racing that is happening here is amazing. We have freight trains all over the tracks as we see Fulte and Farmer battling it out nose to tail. But Aiden Hasbrock in the front, chasing them down. Arduin has separated. Ooh, Farmer on the brakes. I can probably already hear him in the chat. Brakes, 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 brakes. As for those that do not know, the Porsche in this game is stupid fast with the brakes. As we watch the drivers now, Aiden Hasbrock all over the back of Farmer. Aiden is going to take a look on the outside. Farmer's going to leave him enough space as they work their way into turn one. Question is Farmer going to check out? He does. He's going to allow Aiden through. So what he's probably going to do is he's going to allow Aiden to take the fight, let the brakes and pads cool down in the tires, and then continue this battle. Try to let Aiden through here and you know, do a little bit of a team play here as they work their way through here in this grid. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is for P2 and 3 as these drivers work their way around the grid. Oh, this is an amazing battle as we watch develop. Here they go through. Farmer catching a lot of dirt, going super wide. As we see Jonathan Oliveira in the back there in that P5 of that 89 purple Porsche as he works his way through the grid. Down into this downhill section on their way up the hill. The Bentley's going to be super strong compared to everybody else. It can run all the curves at once and not have to worry as they work their way up the hill. For the viewers that are watching, how are you loving the race? Give me a shout out. Let me know what your guys thinks of the stream. And if there's anybody that you'd like to see, let me know. I'll try to get them into the view as possible, as quickly as possible. As we are going to drop down real quick here with this battle that's unfolding here. Ooh, actually may not, because here comes Aiden Asbrock all over the rear bumper. Ooh. These drivers are racing nose to tail here in this race. Here they go onto the main straight. Doesn't seem like the Bentley's really getting much of a pull or a tow out of that corner, but that BMW is definitely looking super squirrely onto the main straight. Here they go through down into into turn one. The Bentley, can he outbrake him and outrun him? Everybody going as wide as possible. They're going as wide as possible. As Tysman says, the race would be better without a cheesehead commentating. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. As we watch Aiden Hasbrock, is he going to take a look on the inside? It doesn't look like it. He gets a beautiful run as we see Casey Bennett dives into the pits. He's the second person to dive in the pits. He's going for the ultimate undercut strategy based on track awareness as these drivers are working their way through the grid here. And it looks like P1 is going to finally start catching up to the other drivers here of McKenna, and looks to be Kaufman as well. As Aiden Hasbrock still all over the back end of the P2 driver of Fulte. We're going to take a look. Who else do we have in this battle? But right now, the problem is Fulte's holding up this whole grid, which is just bringing in P4, P5, P6, P7. This battle is just developing between everybody as Fulte is just trying to hold off as much as possible here in this race. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one, because whoever gets past Fulte is just definitely going to be able to possibly separate that gap and get a little bit of breather room here in this race. As they work their way through, Fulte definitely diving down onto that front straight, trying to break the slipstream. And here comes Casey Bennett, ladies and gentlemen. He is in the pits. He is going to go. Now, he's probably fixed the damage, I believe, possibly. But he has the pace to keep up with these front runners, so he'll be able to separate himself a little bit. But we're going to slot back down here, down the order, and take a look and see what we've got here. As we see Shuffler going super wide, ladies and gentlemen. As we see, where's Alan Zoo? Ooh, Alan Zoo all over the back end of Chrysler. You're here working his way through the final chicane here around the bends as they go here. Nice and tight. York definitely roasted the tires before here in this race, but let's take a look as looks like Stefan Buckley got past Andy Ollie. And now Bruce Hopkins is all over the back end of Andy Ollie as they work their way through the grid here. So we have an amazing freight train. We're going to have to jump right back up aboard and take a look at this front running battle, because this is just developing, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Hasbrock. Oh, now we got some moves. Olivier. Here comes Farmer. Farmer is going to try to take a look on the outside. Aiden Hasbrock looks like he overshot. It's going to allow Farmer through as Olivier and Lane Zander and Wilson Fernandez as this battle is still developing. Oh, man. I would probably be sweating profusely based on how this battle is happening here in the front of this grid as they work their way through. Question is, we got 37 minutes left. Who else is going to dive into this? Let me ask the viewers that are watching, if you had to make the choice, what would you rather do? Would you rather try to pit, undercut, or just wait it out and try to go the same length that they are going? So they work their way through. Let's take a look at this back grid as Lane Zander in the... Seems like Lane Zander's running a little bit lower wing. He's able to catch the Porsche on the main straight, separate himself from that Mercedes-Benz. Ooh, as we see Lane Zander taking a look on the inside. Ooh, here comes Wilson Fernandez. He got a beautiful run with that Mercedes AMG. As they work their way up here, Lane Zander's going to try to switch back, try to throw him off a little bit. Wilson Fernandez takes a look on the inside. Andy Ollie dives into the pits. P21 is in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. So he's one of the first few ones. Third one, I believe, to dive into the pits, as Arduin still has the fastest lap here in this race as they work their way through the grid order. We take a look. Farmer nose to tail. Aiden Hasbrock nose to tail. This is beautiful racing here at 2TMR, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the Bentley is taking a look. We're going to take a look on the inside and definitely see what they are seeing here. as we see as they go through. Oh, is Lane Sanders now being attacked by Wilson Fernandez in that Mercedes-Benz, but did running a little too wide over that final curb, cost him. He's separated from the Porsche, so he's not going to get the slipstream off that Porsche down the back straight, but it manages to help him out a little bit as they work their way through here in this grid. Let's take a look. We have Louis Benara. He is over the back end of Ricky Scott here. Was not anymore. Take a back jump up here and take a look. Farmer gets a nice run. Aiden has to run a wide run all the way over the chain. Teixman says, as an amazing driver, I try to go as long as I possibly can for a fresher set of tires towards the end. That's actually pretty smart. Pretty smart, if I gotta give it to you. And as we see, as the drivers are working their way through, Lane Sanders still with Wilson Fernandez all over the back end of him. Oh, this is... I feel like this is just how the whole entire race is going to be. I feel like these guys are all going to, as Jake Johnson dives in the pits, there's another one, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody's diving into the pits now as we get closer to the halfway mark. The question is how many people are, I feel like this whole group is going to pit. Oh, we've got blue flags. Blue flags, ladies and gentlemen. Blue flags. Okay, so now we have McKenna. He's a blue flagger. As Folty's working his way through the grid, McKenna and Knopfman is in front of them, so they're going to try to work their way through the grid order here. As McKenna moves out of the way, he's going to slide 1, 2, and 3. Here goes Aiden Hasbrock. Okay, they're going to let him through. Oliviera is going to go through. Beautiful job, McKenna. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job working. Oh, McKenna's going to cover the door on Wilson Fernandez, though. Oh, but, I mean, you're kind of stuck in that weird chicane spot. You just don't want to just park it right on the straightaway. I give him massive credit for trying to work through 6 people through a massive freight train here as these drivers are working their way through. As Aiden, he dives into the pits. Aiden Hasbrock is the first driver to dive into the pits. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. We're going to keep an eye on where Aiden Hasbrock comes out of the pit rotation as they work their way through the grid order. Here, did Kaufman dive into the pits? He did dive into the pits to avoid the massive freight train that we have here, ladies and gentlemen, as this battle is developing. Did Wilson Fernandez did not pit to cover over Aiden Hasbrock, because usually most drivers feel that people would react to what the drivers in front of them do. That is very true. They do react. Teixman in the heat of the battle. As Stefan Buckley has dove into the pits, LaRock is still out there in P13. He's 4/10 off the pace of Andre Lloyd in that Pac-Man Porsche as we work through the grid. Alex Arduin sitting out there 10.7 seconds. It's amazing what happens when you have a driver that's being attacked constantly. You have to work your way through the grid. Now, Aiden Hasbrock's going to come out P something. Trying to figure out what it's going to be. He's going to come out P19. Oh! Kaufman with a 30-second stop go. Oh, what a shame there. What a shame. That is, what a shame there. As we see Farmer, he's still battling out. Let's take a look through the grid here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's find some battles here in this race. We have LaCroix, or LaRock, whichever way you prefer to call it. He is on the battle of Andre Lloyd with Ricky Scott right behind him, as well as the pink and blue 196 Mercedes-Benz is battle. As Folty dives in the pits, he's going to try to cover out Aiden Hasbrock as they work their way through. Aiden Hasbrock 4.2 off the pace of Alan Zhu, but he's on fresh set of tires and a full load of fuel. So he can push. He's got all the space to roll, all the free. We see Andre Lloyd dive into the pits. So now we're starting to see drivers dive into the pits, people trying to separate themselves as they work their way through the grid. Now here comes the fun part and the hate part that I hate. Now that everybody's separating themselves, they're working their way through. You can see they're going through. Yep. As they work their way through, beautiful job, beautiful job, beautiful job. From the drivers, Louis Benara is in the pit. Ricky Scott's in the pit. Carter Bennett dives into the pits. So now we're seeing the grid, halfway around the track grid dive into the pits. So we're definitely going to see who is going to improve and who is going to help out with these drivers as they work their way through this. As York dives into the pits. So Folty is coming out of the pits. Now the question is, where is Aiden Hasbrock? He is coming down the main straight. Where's Folty? Folty's right there. Oh, and Aiden, he just makes it. Ooh, but Aiden's got the run. Can he keep the momentum? Can the Bentley driver keep the momentum? Oh, he switches up his line on the BMW to cover over. Aiden's got the warmer tires as he works his way through side by side, coming up to the turn. Can he get the run down into the corner? He can! The Bentley driver can't cover off him. Oh, there goes Aiden Hasbrock making the move stick and work. Now, can he take the fight back? Can Full Team make it stick and work here as they work their way around the bend here, ladies and gentlemen? The Bentley driver trying to do everything he can. He's going to have Alan Zhu in front of him. Alan Zhu, this is a battle for position, even though Alan Zhu has yet to pit. Alan Zhu still has the right to defend his position that's right in front of them as they go through up the hill and through the fast right-hand corner as they work their way through. Alan Zhu is just there. Yeah, I bet you Aiden Hasbrock is probably saying, Alan, I need you to move. I need you to move now. I need you to move now. As Alan Zhu covers the break. This could help out Aiden, though, in this battle, but Alan Zhu knows where he's at on the track here as they come through. Here comes Aiden Hasbrock. Aiden's looking for to make a move to get around Alan Zhu as they come through late on the brakes. Here they go through the Bentley driver and the BMW driver, definitely looking super. Oh, I feel sorry for Alan Zhu. He's getting swamped by the Bentley. Here comes the Bentley on the inside. He's going to get the run on the Porsche. Beautiful time. Oh, no. Oh, wow. There was no real space for Alan Zhu to go there on that bend here as Lane Sander gets a 30-second stop go. Oh, what a shame. Now they're going to leapfrog the two drivers down the main straight. Here they go. Lane Sanders going to check up right behind. Oliveira is going to definitely leapfrog Lane Sander, but now Lane Sanders is definitely going to try to make something happen. He's going to have to try to get around Alan Zhu in this. Poor Alan Zhu stuck in a weird spot as they come around the bend here. Alan Zhu's going to try to cover up the inside. Lane Sanders trying to make something stick here as they come up to the turn. So now Folty's going to have to cover up, but Lane Sanders is going to have a 30-second stop go. So Lane Sanders definitely going to have to try everything he possibly can with Bruce Hopkins now into the pits. He's coming out. Let's take a look at where Ricky Scott is. Ooh, Wilson Fernandez in the pits. See, Ricky Scott's off the track. That's going to allow Casey Bennett through. So that's going to slide Casey Bennett back up into that P20, 19 spot? P19 spot. Once everything, Medina is in the pits. Wilson Fernandez is in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take a look. We have Aiden Hasbrock. He's coming through chicane sector 3. He was battling Wilson Fernandez. He wasn't battling Wilson. Olivia was. So Olivia's on his outlap as he's working his way around with Lane Zander. Lane Zander still has to serve the 30-second stop go. Skeppy, what a fight. It is, what a battle. And here we come through, ladies and gentlemen, because the battle is still developing. Because though Wilson Fernandez, what did finish PT? Oh, looks like did a car lose it in the pit straight? Trying to see what the number is to see what happened. Number 69 of the Nissan. Looks like he possibly lost the back end of it. He's going to leapfrog. Where's Wilson Fernandez? Oh, Wilson Fernandez lost out big time. Big places, but we have Shuffler in the pits as they work their way through. Let's take a look. It's Kaufman. He's dived into the pits. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on that GTR. What a shame there. As we see Stefan Buckley working his way around the bend here. Shuffler's in the pits. Let's take a look up the grid here. As we see Aiden Hasbrock, he is working his way through the track. He's got open air, and here leader Alex Arduin is in the pits. Farmer is in the pits. The question is, who else is going to be diving in the pits? Aiden Hasbrock was battling Farmer as they go through. So let's take a look. All right, Farmer is coming down very slowly. He's going to definitely do the technique pulling in, shutting off, and going. We have Artem in the pits, Andrew Jaschke in the pits, Afonso in the pits. Does Lacroix follow? Lacroix does not follow. Lacroix stays out. Let's take a look. Zander still has a 30-second stop go. Alan Zhu still has to pit. The minute Farmer starts running, we're going to jump along board with Aiden Hasbrock as they go through. And does Farmer, he's got a 30-second. Here comes Aiden Hasbrock. He's in Sector 3 working his way through. Chestnut still is yet to pet as they work their way through. Casey Bennett definitely doing a road to recovery event here for himself as he is up to P17 now, and he is just catching Andrew Lloyd in that other Porsche. work their way through. LaCroix, provisional race leader. Here comes Aiden. Where's Farmer? Where's Farmer? He's going to leapfrog him for that P2 spot, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Ardoin is already out. The race leader is already out. Let's take a look at our provisional race leader here, Mr. LaRock, in that beautiful Mercedes-Benz. I'm pretty sure he wishes he could just not have to pit and just keep on racing. As these drivers are working their way through, Lane Zander's going to dive into the pits to serve his 30-second stop go here in this battle. We don't really see much here in this battle right now, but let's take a look. Where's Jake Johnson? Because I can see him in the background as he looks like he was battling. Where is Jake Johnson? Do not see. Oh, yep, there he is, Jake Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to have Andrew Cooper right in front of him. That black McLaren driver of Andrew Cooper here in this battle as we go through here, as we are reaching the 24-minute window mark, 14 minutes on the pit, and everything is growing through here. So we see Andrew Jaschke, also the group is developing even more. Let's take a look, scroll up. Where is the Jaschke Meister? As LaRock dives into the pits, where's Andrew Jaschke? Here we are, Andrew Jaschke, number 13, now all back of Andre Afonso. That battle was developing prior to the pit strategy. It seems like Jaschke got swamped over in this P13 spot as they work their way through. Jaschke super late on the brakes versus that Lexus. That Lexus is a little bit outdated here on the PC side. It is quick, but not looking super strong. But we'll definitely have to keep an eye. I want to see where Chestnut and LaRock all come out of the pit strategy, because they definitely pushed it super late here in the pit strategy. So definitely an interesting one to say the least, because so far we've had a very clean sweep race here. Not a whole lot of issues with drivers and battling each other out here, as LaRock is still in the pits. It hasn't gone green yet. Okay, here we go. LaRock is coming out. So he possibly could be up there and leapfrog Louis Benara. But as this battle develops, we are actually going to, speaking of that, we're going to drop down by Louis Benara and Casey Bennett as this battle develops here, as Andre Lloyd and Louis Benara and Casey Bennett. There goes LaRock right in front of him. Andre Lloyd sends it down on the inside. Louis Bennett looks to cover, misses his braking marks, catches all the little fun curvy pieces, and there goes Casey Bennett right past Louis Benara. Now that's going to allow Louis Benara to fall behind and get possibly swamped up by Ricky Scott right behind him. So that's definitely going to be an interesting one, as Alan Sue is in the pits. Let's take a look. LaRock P11, Chestnut P16. Beautiful cycle on the late strategies by a lot of these drivers as well. Casey Bennett, definitely nice road to work. Oh, I'm not going to say it. No commentator curse, no commentator curse, no commentator curse, no commentator curse. As Casey Bennett's back end of his Porsche. You know, I'm just going to jump to a different car. I don't feel like commentating cursing Casey Bennett. I love the guy. He's a nice guy. I can't commentate or curse him. And we see Wilson Fernandez all alone with the back end of Matt Archie coming down the final corner. 21 minutes left to play. And these drivers are battling it out. I was really hoping for rain, ladies and gentlemen, but I just did not get rain. As we see Alex Ardoin 9.3 off the pace of Aiden Hasbrock. Farmer 3.9 off that pace. He's going to have Oliveira right behind him as these drivers are battling it out. Matt Artem looking super strong in that Audi. He ran the Audi last season, finished within the top 10 in points, so that's definitely going to be something interesting to keep an eye on with how he finishes this season. He's been looking super strong here. As Tysman says in the chat, Lexus is king. It is king at Paul Ricard. As we watch Wilson Fernandez 3/10, that Mercedes-Benz is trying so hard to make it past that Audi as we work our way through. So look, what do we have a battle that's closer possibly? It does not look like it. Farmer is now... Oh, actually, he's lost a little bit of pace as Oliveira is... Oh, that Merce. No! What happened there? Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. let's jump back here as we watch the long board. You can see the dashboard here of Wilson Fernandez as he comes down the hill, and he's going to work his way up the hill here in this replay. Catches the curve, gets a better run out of the hole versus the Audi onto the main straight. Here they go, catches up the brake. Looks like Matt Artem is either brake checking him, or that's not something I would very condone whatsoever. That was a little on the dirty side of things. As we jump along board with Jonathan Oliveira, as he's chasing down, we're going to see Brian Katz right in front of him. Jonathan Oliveira right in front of him, chasing down Farmer. Farmer's going to try to get past Katz here, coming out of the corner. He's going to get the run on the inside of the back marker. So question is he puts Oliveira, flashes the light, sends it down on the inside right as the corner was right there. I get it, you flash the light, but sometimes there's not enough space to make everything possible that you need to make possible. As these drivers work through the grid, as we see Fulte now chasing Oliveira right behind him. As we go through here in this order now, that's going to allow Farmer a little bit of separation. So right now, so far the state order, we have Porsche, Bentley, Porsche, BMW, Mercedes. One of them is possibly questionable for possible stewardship, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that one as well. Let's take a look. Who else do we have battle? We have Casey Bennett and Andre Lloyd as this is, and then now Louis Benara and Ricky Scott. Louis going to cover the inside. Ricky Scott's going to try to switch back, and around the bend they go. The sunlight is gone. It's 2:19 afternoon in game as these guys try to make something happen. Here they go, working their way up the hill, catching the curb. Looking super nice and super racy. So we see Casey Bennett. The battle in the back still developing. Ooh, Casey Bennett takes a look on the inside. Has to check up right behind him with the brakes. About to lose my voice. Ooh, Casey Bennett with a little bit of a squirrelness out of that Porsche as he works his way down the grid. Teichman says, oops, in the chat, that's right. I already know what you're talking about. Never want the commentator to see it. As we see the drivers work their way through here in this grid order. Everybody's kind of separated themselves so far in this race. Casey Bennett looking on the inside. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be rain. There's going to be rain. You don't understand how happy I am as a commentator to say that there's going to be rain. In the window, if you look up at the top on your screen, within 15 minutes, there's going to be rain. Yes, rain. Love it. As Casey Bennett takes a look on the inside, Andre Lloyd covering it as much as possible. Casey Bennett's going to get the swoop in. Is he going to be able to hold it? Andre Lloyd's going to try to take a look back on the inside. He sends it deep. Casey covers over it. Beautiful driving by both Porsche drivers. As the race now starts to develop, we're going to jump down along board. Let's see who's got the closer fights here. Let's take a look at Ricky Scott right behind them as he's chasing down Louis Benara. And he's trying to make that stick very well here as Andrew Jassie's 0.8 off the pace of Medina. Andre Afonso as they work their way through. So far, ladies and gentlemen, rain for 2 minutes of the race. Well, here's the thing. It's a ×2 multiplier. So anything can happen. It could be within 5 minutes. It could be within... Now here's the thing. The graph went away. And it's because a commentator cursed it. Because I said yes to rain. And now it went away. So if we say no to rain, hopefully it comes back. That's my guess. That's what I'm hoping for. As we see the drivers as they work their way through, let's take a look at the leaders and see where they're at here. As this race is kind of a little bit of a dead still here in the race. So we're going to see Alex Arduin making his way around Jack Johnson here. Let's see, Aiden Hasbrock, your P2 driver, working his way up. He's going to have Alan Zhu with Tyler Farmer with Oliveira. And then we're going to see Fulte right behind him with Wilson Fernandez. It looks like they managed to to leapfrog um, Andy Ollie, which is right there back in P27. But anything can happen because if that rain does come, it's going to be a very spicy meatball here, ladies and gentlemen. As we see McNeil, he's going to get attacked by Alan Zhu with Aiden Hasbrock catching up. Question is will Aiden is he going to be able to sit back a little bit and make their way through as we see Kaufman and the P10 driver dive into the pits. Your P10 driver is Lane Sander. Did he under fuel by chance? He served his. Let's take a look. Does he have damage? I don't see any damage on his car though. I don't see any over there either. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of the great many mysteries of sim racing. Nobody knows the answer to anything that we know. And let's take a look right back up by Ricky Scott. 4/10 off the pace. Andre Lloyd, 4/10 off the pace. So the battle for P12, 13, 14, and 15 developing all race. This is going to be an interesting one. Here they go, switch back. Ricky Scott, beautiful run onto the main straight, final corner. Ricky Scott not having to catch the brakes at all. Gets a beautiful run onto the front straight. We're going to jump aboard Andre Lloyd. Nope. Andre Lloyd too far back. Ricky Scott now looking at it. He goes on the inside attack. Ooh, checks up with Louis Bernard now covering. Okay, now we have 13 minutes left to play. I don't see any rain. I'm a little disappointed. Kind of like the trees from the last race. As we see, Ricky Scott's looking super strong. Fulte now within a second of Olivier. As they work their way through. Now let's take a look. Carter Bennett now on Chestnut. Let's take a look at Carter Bennett here. Carter Bennett looking racy behind that Ferrari. That Red Bull BMW trying to make something stick here. 3/10 off the pace. This is for P19. Here they go around the bend. Here they go. Takes a look on the inside. Catches the brakes. You definitely see when he brakes, he digs the front end of that car as he comes around that corner there. Super nice. Ooh, Alan Zhu. Ooh, he is looking. His car is just all over the place, and he's going to have Mr. Farmer right behind him to get by here, as it seems like this is not his day for his race at Barcelona. For those that are wondering, next week we will be at Brands Hatch as Alan Zhu covers the. As here goes Farmer around the outside, giving Alan Zhu the inner part of the line, and here they go through. So hopefully Farmer can help out Alan Zhu by taking the fight to McNeil and possibly slowing McNeil up here, ladies and gentlemen, because that will definitely help out Alan Zhu here in that fight as they work their way down. Here comes Ricky Scott. Still nothing on this front straight here. You would have thought that the pace performance would have helped him out here. But we also have Fulte now within half a second on Oliviera, excuse me, I apologize. Less than a second. They are working their way up here. We have a back marker of Alan Zhu as they start to catch up to him. As we see Wilson Fernandez back there. In that battle, here we go on to the Sector 3 section of Barcelona. And here they come around the bend of Fulte and Oliviera in this amazing battle. For those that are interested in joining us, check us out on thesimgrid.com. Definitely look at hosts and then search us by letters. Just type in GTMR. You'll find us there. We do PC, ACC, as well as Xbox ACC. So if you're looking to want to join us on Xbox, definitely check us out. We race Sunday nights at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I apologize. And there's big things to come, even more for the league. So definitely don't freak out if something isn't there for you. We have a lot of different things coming about for this race series for you guys to participate and want to be a part of. So that's definitely going to be an awesome thing, and it'd definitely be wonderful to have you guys in the community. As we see, so here we go, Olivier. He's going to look. He's flashing the lights. He wants to get through. He's going to try to force his way in to the corner. That's going to push Alan Zhu out there into the wilderness. There is now Olivier. He's going to try to want to make his way through McNeil as he's going through. The question is where is he going to want to try to send it? I know a lot of these fast drivers try to want to send it into a corner. That's helpful for them because then they can carry the pace. And here comes McNeil. He's a little squirrely. Olivier is going to try it on the inside on the uphill section. I wouldn't recommend it, Olivier. That's not really the best spot to pass. I'll definitely try to get him to slot over here coming up into the turn. He's going to try to send it on the inside. Volti now, they're going to wedge their cars in there to make it through as Volti now gets on the inside of Olivier. Olivier now squeezes out and he gets ahead of them. Pit window is going to be closing in 6 seconds and everybody has pitted so far as they work their way up through sector 3. As we see McKenna, he's going to wait, allow everybody through. Huge, nice job. And here goes Alan Zhu. I think he's going to just hold off there for a little bit to allow Wilson Fernandez through. Huge shout out to that. It says 1800 November 13th for Xbox. That must be a typo in there. If you're in the Discord, just join in. We'll get you all in and taken care of. All right, Tykes man. As we watch Olivier, he's going to have full T, and then we also have Jake Johnson right in front of Oliveira as he's working his way through the grid. Jake Johnson's going to slot out of the way, and here comes the freight train. Now this is going to help out McNeil because I believe McNeil is also, he's in this battle against Jake Johnson, so that slowed up Jake Johnson to allow McNeil to take the fight in that Audi. Now Alan Zhu's on a freight train as well, so we definitely have a massive three-way battle between 23, 24, and 25 in this race, ladies and gentlemen. That is just growing through, which is, can be helpful. So if Zhu gets Wilson Fernandez through here to assist him, this could help him move up the grid order super fast, because if you think about it, you want to use one of the faster drivers to help you through. Ooh, McNeil super late on the brakes on the back end of that BMW. Oh, McNeil loses the back end of it. Here comes Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu now in attacking mode on McNeil. McNeil definitely was loving the Audi. Now he's hating the Audi. Here comes Zhu. He's going to have Wilson Fernandez right behind him. Wilson Fernandez knows he needs to get past to make something stick here. But this is a battle for position, even though Wilson Fernandez... here comes McNeil. He runs it super wide. Here comes Wilson Fernandez. Wilson Fernandez goes. Zhu lets him on the inside. McNeil now is Alan Zhu going to cover. He's going to check up right behind Fernandez. It would be kind of stupid to attack him into the corner here. Coming up, but anything is possible. He checks up right behind. Here comes Wilson Fernandez. He's going to take a look. So Zhu's going to try to capitalize Wilson Fernandez's pace to attack on McNeil. Here they come through turn 1. Zhu's trying to hold it in. That Porsche is looking very understeery as they come through. McNeil, he's got that Mercedes-Benz right behind him. It's interesting to see the line that every driver takes here. McNeil's going to cover. Wilson Fernandez is going to send it deep. Ooh, I would have not tried that one, but that's just me. As we see now, here comes Alan Zhu. Alan Zhu now bringing the battle with the Euro Yeet Porsche around the bend here as they work their way through down the grid order, and it looks like Carter Bennett still 5/10 off the pace. Andrew Cooper 5/10 off the pace. So if this doesn't develop, we're going to be switching out. It doesn't look like it's going to. So now we're going to jump along board. Here comes Andrew Cooper with Chrysler York. McLaren to McLaren. The battle now insinuates. Now here they come through into the sector 3. They have to try to stay away from the curves. For those that do not know, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, the McLarens hate the curves, as Andrew Cooper gets a beautiful run on Chrysler York onto the top and straight part of this racetrack with 6 minutes left to play. Here they go. This is going to be an interesting one as they work their way down the straight. The leader is in front of them. Ooh, York covers the inside. Cooper's going to try the outside down into turn 1. Will the switchback work with York's line? It does. Ooh, he actually covers it up very well. Makes that McLaren 9 miles wide as Andrew Cooper is trying to win it with all the marbles here for that P21 spot. Around the bend they go. Here they come on to the second straight around the bend. Here comes the switchback. York covers the inside. Cooper on the outside. Door wide open. Side by side they go. Here they come through on the downhill spot of the hairpin as Chrysler York covers the inside. Cooper side by side, both McLaren drivers. Super Supreme Racing. Knock on wood. Hopefully nothing bad happens. As they work their way through, York covering the inside. Cooper on the back end checks up as they swivel. Here comes the sparks in this race. The clouds are coming in. The temperature has dropped 2 degrees Celsius. Andrew Cooper running a little bit of the grass to try to hopefully cool down the tires as they work their way through onto what would be the second DRS straight of this race. Aiden Hasselbrock in front of them with 5 minutes left to go. York overshoots the corner in the braking zone. Where did York go? Don't tell me he went to the Shadow Realm. Nope, there he is. Andrew Cooper is going to be able to get right past him. What a shame there, as Carter Bennett is still a little bit off the pace. Still can't get anything to happen. But we're going to jump up with Chrysler Shuffler as Chrysler Shuffler looks it on the inside of Louis Benara, side by side, the Porsche driver of the ARL, American Racing League. On the inside of Louis Benara, makes it stick. Now the question is this Louis going to switch back? He goes for a wider attack, Louis Benara does, to try to make something stick with the Porsche. But did Louis burn up his tires too much as they work their way through the grid and on this downhill section? Skeppy says in the chat, I can help that fella. Thanks, Skeps. Super wonderful guy, I gotta say. As we watch Louis Benara work their way through it, definitely a huge shout out to all the viewers that have stuck in and watched the stream with us. It's been a huge honor to have all of you guys here participating and watching. I definitely have to say that. Thank you guys so much. If there's someone that you'd like to see, let me know in the chat. Ember, if you're still here, I already know Farmer will be jumping through the lead order of the drivers here very shortly when we get towards the end of the race. Here comes Louis Benara as he works his way down. Now, can he make this final chicane stick for with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play? As Casey Bennett, beautiful recovery drive. He was good for a top 5. Something happened to him. He fell down, but he's managed to bring himself back to P12 here. As it looks like Louis Benara cannot connect against that Porsche car. That Porsche car just has a little bit of that pull out of that corner there. He just can't do anything about it here. Let me take a look. Let's say Carter Bennett's falling off the pace. McNeil now all over the back end of Jake Johnson here as they work their way up the hill through this fast right. Alan Zhu still on the outside. Ooh, McNeil. Oh, I swear, man, that man is going to give me a heart attack. McNeil is... That man's too squirrely on the track. As he comes through this P23 spot battle here. Ooh, he catches up the brake. Now, Alan Zhu is all over the back end of the Audi. He's going to have to check up as well as they work their way through. Alan Zhu definitely having a heart attack based on that battle as they work their way through here. We have 2 minutes and 47 seconds left to play, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look. The front runners are all within about 1.2 seconds. Oh, there's rain! There's rain! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's a sprint of rain. Who is going to hold out the rest of the race? Oh my God. We talked about it, ladies and gentlemen. There's rain in the last 2 minutes. Who's going to throw this off? Alan Zhu now on to McNeil. You guys see the rain? I see the rain as they come through here down the front straight into turn 1. Super late on the brakes. Alan Zhu having to cover. McNeil not knowing what to do. Curious on who is going to possibly freak out with the track. The track is now greasy with 2 minutes left to go. Oh my God, this is going to throw a wrench into everybody's plan with McNeil now on the battle of Jake Johnson. What can happen? Alan Zhu's trying to make it something stick with McNeil, and now the rain's gone away, but the track is still greasy, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a mild spurt of rain, and it went away towards the end of the race. I can't make this up as we watch the drivers work their way through. Now, because the track is greasy, what is it going to pop any yellows around the track? Will it make a little bit of an issue of these drivers here with the grip levels of some of these drivers trying to make something happen? This is definitely going to be an interesting one here. Oh my God, here we go. McNeil, Andrew, Alan Zhu, Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson moves out of the way. McNeil, Alan Zhu. Oh man, I can't talk today. McNeil sends it wide. Alan Zhu down on the inside. This is for P23, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Zhu tries the switchback. Oh, the greasiness of the Audi goes super wide. Side by side they go. The track is picking up. We still have a minute left to battle. This will be the battle of the final lap for these drivers. McNeil shoots it out wide, goes over the curb. Down on the inside. Oh, McNeil sends it. Taps the side of them. Here they go. Now it's going to check up Jake Johnson and Andy Ollie. Andy Ollie is now coming around the outside. He's going to swap the BMW. Now that we have Medina, Andre Afonso. Now here comes Andy Ollie. He's going to try the inside of the Porsche down on the front straight. Can he make it stick? McNeil, he's going to have a back marker. There's going to be a blue flag situation here coming up here shortly. Down on the inside, the McLaren driver, Andy Ollie, sends it up there and makes it stick. Here comes, I believe it's going to be 7 and 8 right on the inside of I apologize, everybody. Of 7 and 8 of in between Allen Zoo, Afonso definitely trying to look at taking a look at something on Medina here as they work their way through the hill. Andy Ollie's going to try to push to try to get McNeil as we're definitely taking a look at the leader. The leader's coming through sector 3 here shortly. We'll be switching over there real quick to watch him as he's about to cross the line as this battle starts to develop. Here comes Andrew Jaschke. He's got Allen Zoo right in front of him. Andrew Jaschke knows he's going to be able to make something possibly stick if he can make it work as these drivers come around here. Onto the main back straight that they go. These drivers are flashing profusely to make something stick. Andrew Jaschke's going to try something on the inside for Afonso here as we go through. Allen Zoo checks out of it, and oh, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. There's your race winner. I apologize. Battle was developing over time as we see here. Oh, Andy Ollie's going to try the inside of no! No! Oh, man, what? Oh, Jesus. Oh, that is not something you really need to see. Oh, man, what? Wow. Congratulations to Alex are doing P1, P2. We're going to switch over here. P4 full T. We're going to have Andrew Jaschke, Afonso. Let's take a look here. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Hopkins now all over the back end of Louis Bernard, but also Chris Shuffler. He's going to try the inside. He's chasing down Ricky Scott. What an interesting battle towards the end. Everything is all over the place. Here they go through around the bends. Katz having to get out of the issue. Can Shuffler get the run that he needs? LaCroix, LaRock has finished the race. Casey Benish finished P12. Andrew Lloyd, P12, Ricky Scott 13, Shuffler 14, Louis Benara P15, Bruce Hopkins trying to get the run on the Mercedes-Benz as they work their way through. Stefan Buckley here coming through the final chicane as we work our way through here. McKenna, the BMW M6 driver, is going to work his way down the grid order. Let's take a look at where he is at as everybody crosses the line. Oh my God, oh wow, okay, maybe that's one way to hit the wall. As he makes it all the way and manages to stop and not hit Allen Zoo's car here, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing race. What an amazing battle. Congratulations to Alex Arduin finishing P1, Ian Hasbrock P2, Farmer coming in 3, Olivia P4, Fulton 5, Fernandez 6, Medina 8, 7, Jaschke 8. What an amazing battle, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to back out of this here real quick. It is just, wow, what an amazing battle. I don't know what happened towards the end. That's going to be a crazy, spicy thing for the stewards as they approach here in this race, ladies and gentlemen. But it has been truly, truly an amazing time. Not currently offline, I apologize. An amazing time being with you guys, participating with you guys. Yes, Sprightly Brain Fart, yep. It's just, it's been an honor having you guys all here with me, watching the stream, watching the battles. It's been nothing but amazing. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you for the follows, guys. Huge shout out. Thank you guys. Definitely check us out next week, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be at Brands Hatch, which is definitely going to be a huge, huge, awesome battle going into it, especially with the way the championship is going. Also, take a look at join us on the Sim Grid, or you'll find our link for the Discord there, or take a look at us on gridfinder.com. You'll find our links to join in there as well, in case if you want to race Xbox. And ladies and gentlemen, there's more to come here in this battle. There's more to come. Thank you again for everybody that came out and participated and watched. What an amazing race. What an amazing race we had. I just want to say thank you guys so much, and have a wonderful week.